I'm gonna hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The lyric scientist flag.
It's not Superman, folks. It is everybody's favorite podcast duo. Yeah, here, Smooth Talk Radio with your
October 21st.
October 21st, Smooth Radio, 102.5. There we go. I don't know if that's a real station. And if it is, see what it is, folks, where you live, and let me know.
I could say previously recorded, even like maybe we just did it earlier in the day.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't matter, folks. This podcast is so important. We want to make sure that we deliver to you on a week-to-week basis.
Each and every week. Because we don't want to hear people say, I didn't hear you guys this week. I usually listen during my gym workouts and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, thanks for the motivation.
Yeah, no. And it's kind of cool when
And
somebody says they work out to us.
And if you're on the treadmill right now, motherfucker, you better fucking go faster and faster. You got to do fucking a minute on, a minute off. That's okay.
All right, man. That is Jared's drill instructor portion of his persona.
Kind of.
Well, I mean, it wasn't too bad.
I got asked that recently. Was it you?
I did. When,
yeah.
I believe when Dan was over here a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
No, but I think you make a really good drill instructor, man.
I used to be. I used to want to be when I was in, because I used to imitate him, like especially like just after graduation from boot camp. A lot of people would do it, but I used to imitate him because let's just put it this way: I got yelled at quite a bit. Not a lot, but enough. But so I would imitate him, and I wanted to be a drill instructor. Like, to be a drill instructor, you got to be the top of the top. Like, you know how they say Marines are like elite?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, drill instructors are like elite of the elite of the elite.
He's like your favorite rapper's favorite rapper.
Yeah, they're like the NFL players of football.
Yeah.
Compared to like high school, college. Or
I gotcha. I mean, I'm sure it is a prestigious honor. It's got to be. But at the same time, do you think a lot of these drill instructors are the ones that you have, and I'm sure they're normal people, obviously. They're not like uptight, and they're doing their jobs. Do you think that's who they are as a person, or them just doing their job?
Yes and no.
And I can see how it could kind of be a combination of the two.
I can tell you, matter of fact, I knew this guy. I'm not gonna say his name because he's still in. He's like a master gunnery sergeant now.
Ooh, that sounds fucking badass.
But when I was in, I was like a PFC or a private. And he went through like from lance corporal to, and he was in a different. We were in the same unit, but kind of different units. It's too much to go into. But he ended up being, he was a corporal at one point, but then like you could tell that he wasn't. What was the word you used for before when you were asking the question? Like uptight.
Yeah,
he was
just like a complete stick up his ass kind of guy.
Yeah. And I don't want to say that's just how Marines, that's how he's master gunnery sergeant now, but that's the type of life I didn't want. You know what I'm saying?
I
there's no way I could have been who I am today and still be in the Marine Corps.
I got you.
Or even who I was when I got out of the Marine Corps. There's no fucking way that I could have done that for fucking 20 plus years.
No, I got you. And
he was a drill instructor, so that's where I was going with that. So just after I got out, I saw that he was like a sergeant, staff sergeant, and he was at MCRD, which is Marine Corps Recruit Depot. He was there for a long time. That's how he's master gunnery sergeant now. So, but either way, yeah, he was a pretty and people call me intense. That motherfucker was intense.
And you know what's funny you say that? Obviously, I've never been in the military. Know a lot of people that have, yourself included. I know you know what real shit is like as opposed to me whining because I stubbed my toe on the corner of my bed.
Or because you had 4 hours of sleep.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not whining about. I am tired.
I know
but, I am tired.
That was like last week when I came in. You were like, I've only had 4 hours of sleep. I was like, in my head, I was like, you little bitch.
Yeah, no. Well, it's been. I will tell you, doing the whole sober October thing, my sleep quality has definitely gone up.
Yeah, so you shouldn't be tired.
No,
Well, you know what? You haven't been working out though, have you?
I have actually been working out more often than not. I would say.
I mean, 1 day a week as opposed to 0 days a week. Yeah, I get it, but more than that.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's,
Okay.
No, but towards the end of the week, last week, work got really, really hectic. I had to kind of stay after hours. I was compensated for this, by the way. Then I had to come home, literally wolf some food down because I was hungry, face plant into my bed, wake up, run, off a few hours sleep and go back and help out on a weekend, which I'm typically, I don't work. But yeah, it wasn't terrible. It's just like, oh my God. Because when I worked in food, I feel like I did that a shitload, and it's like I don't do that anymore, so I prefer my quality of sleep now. And it's healthy for you. It's healthy for your brain and your body and all that good stuff. So sleep is important. I do feel like I need a new mattress, even though mine is fine. Are you like a firm mattress kind of guy, Jared? I know this is kind of random, but just talking about it.
I don't know, to be honest. I wish I had the money to go out and go to a legit place and like get fitted and all this other shit.
Dude, that looks incredible. Yeah. Like you, want the same thing because it looks amazing the way your body just sinks into it.
No, not necessarily sinking in because I might not like sinking in.
Yeah.
But I know I want something a little more comfortable than what I have. It's just, I don't know. I just don't want to spend $5,000 on a fucking mattress.
It's kind of insane how expensive bedding is.
Yeah, well, here's the stat that always kills me when they talk about fucking mattresses. Like, you spend 2/3 of your life in bed. I'm like, yeah, but it might not be my bed.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
exactly.
It could be. I could be at somebody's house.
Yeah,
I could be fucking on the road. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to fucking be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Like,
living out of your car, sleeping in the back seat.
Well, hopefully I'm getting fucking hotel rooms and not fucking living out of my car at my age.
Yes, that is correct. The reason I brought that up recently, on A&E, they have, I know you're not a wrestling fan, but I think you might like these. They have these real life biographies of some of the more top tier wrestlers from when we were younger. Mm-hmm. And they were just talking about how the style, back when they were breaking into the business and there were territories, they would drive 400 miles to make like $50, if that, and then go to another show, making a name for yourself.
Well,
but
comedians do that too.
No, and I know that, but they obviously were much younger when they were telling.
Yeah, I'm saying there's comedians that do it now.
Oh, I know. I believe it.
Struggling to get from place to place. Just to do a show. Sometimes they're paying for shows. Like I've done that, like bringer shows.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, I don't want to get into it. There's a guy who I did his shows back in the day, and there were bringer shows.
Yeah.
But bringer, I think I've talked about it before. Bringer show is when you bring other people to the show, or in his case, if you don't have anybody to bring, then you pay the rest, and he can give the tickets to somebody else. So
I got you.
I'm paying to get on stage. You know what I'm saying? If I don't have, in the case that he's doing these days, 5 people.
Oh, wow.
So, like, if I'm just starting out, how the hell am I going to get 5 people to a fucking show? You know what I'm saying?
Go out on the streets of D.C. and talk to the homeless.
No, you could do that, but it's like,
no, it's extra effort and all that other
I'd
stuff.
rather just fucking do open mics for free and just, I don't know, figure out a way to get on bigger shows instead of, I don't know. I guess I'd rather, I don't know. I don't, the whole bringer concept, I guess is cool when you're first starting out, but I don't know. I just don't think they're, I don't know. It's just something shady to me about it.
If it doesn't sit right with you, Jared, it doesn't sit right with me.
I don't know. I'm not naming names for a reason. So
no, I got you. No problem. It but I hope that one day you have that like Steve Harvey moment, and before you say, "What do you
Whoa.
mean? Wait, what do you mean, RJ?"
I don't know if I want to. Okay, go ahead. Let me hear it.
No, there's a. I saw this video of him a long time ago when he's on his talk shows, very famous talk show, and he was talking about how he was telling a story about how he broke into the business. It was like one of those motivational videos that I just happened to find, and he was just talking about how he was down and out, and he had no money, and I hope you're not in that position, but he basically was waiting on this phone call back from oh God, I can't remember the show it was. I don't know if it was Soul Train or it was something, dude. It was just his big break. Essentially, he didn't have
Apollo, maybe?
I think it was Showtime at the Apollo, yes.
Okay.
And essentially, he ended up getting a phone call back, but he had to check his voicemails on a payphone. And he only had like enough to check it. And then when he found out, he somehow managed to get bus fare and get to where he needed to go.
Yeah, I've heard that story before.
And then he got his big break. So I wish that you encounter your Steve Harvey moment.
Well, I look at it this way. I feel that moment will come.
Yeah.
I don't know when, I don't know how, but I feel like for the first time in my life, I feel like this is something that I feel is gonna happen. I don't know why. Again, I don't know why. I don't know how. I just know.
No, that's.
And what I kind of tend to study successful people. I try to as much as I can emulate. That's why I hate when people that's why I get on you about the Tom Brady stuff. It's like everybody hates him because he's so good.
So it's funny you say that. I did a couple weeks ago. You sent me a video. I did watch it.
Thanks for letting me get my thought out, but go ahead.
Oh, I honestly thought you were done. I'm not gonna lie.
No, I was not.
If it was gonna badger me and just be like, "Yeah, RJ, you
No,
hate
I
greatness."
wasn't.
Oh,
I was
okay.
I had a point that I was gonna make.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
Like I was saying, the whole Tom Brady thing. I tend to try to see what successful people are doing and try to, at least in my own way, implement that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's not always the right way, and I get lazy too. Just like everybody, maybe not lazy is not the word, but like I get, lazy is the word. I don't feel like doing shit right now just because I feel too tired or I feel this or what, or like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the people who are successful, the most successful, are the ones who put their feelings aside to do the thing that they know they need to do to get to the next level.
Yeah.
Well, I think Mike Tyson says, you got to be comfortable doing. Discipline is doing the things you don't want to do, even though the things you have to do, even though you don't want to do them.
Yeah.
That's discipline.
Oh, of course.
And this dude, he's lost money. He's been to jail. This is the best boxer in the world, arguably of all time.
Very arguably.
I said arguably,
Yeah.
motherfucker.
Okay, I'm just all right. I'm listening.
And he has made ups and downs and made money and this, that, and the other thing. And then Cedric the Entertainer, when he came on for 200 and said like, look, y'all just don't do it for the fame and the money. Like, y'all do it for just because you love doing this thing.
Yeah.
And be of service to the thing and make sure you're the people you're doing it for, they're fucking happy and they're laughing and they're, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
You saw that. And to be honest, I've been watching that every time I'm about to go on stage or whatever, just to fucking keep that in the back of my mind. Or good. Even when I come to do these, just to keep that in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying?
There were little things throughout my life that I've kind of used as a daily reminder of, especially when you're kind of, you get older, you get out in the real world. Life is tough, folks. We all know this, but you gotta, if there's a will, there's a way. I hate to be cliche about it, but sometimes, as Jared was saying, sometimes he's like, hey man, I'm lazy. I don't feel like doing it. I'm tired. I'm overwhelmed with work or whatever it is. And you can kind of get stagnant in your progression or what you would view as progress. But I recently saw I wouldn't even say it was a meme. I guess it's meant to be a meme. And it resonated with me, and I know it would resonate with you. It said, essentially, and I'm going to kind of paraphrase it, essentially that you cannot have your 100th without having your first. Your first of anything is not going to be a good, and it had a list of things. It said, like, it was like your first podcast, your first movie, your first video, just a small list of things. But it essentially said you cannot have your 100th without having done your first. Mm-hmm. And I kind of equate that, and I thought about it when I learned how to make pizzas. Do you think my first pizza looked great? Absolutely not. It was shaped like a football. It was all fucked up. But now, and after a while, I have awards for my skill set that I no longer do. But just small things like that, and with the podcast and with your comedy, and for anybody out there who's, trying to just do their own thing, make a way, just do something different, break the norm. Don't be a sheep, like Jared says. Do your own thing. Be a critical thinker. Be you, and don't worry about what other people think. Yeah, I mean, you think we really? I don't want to say we care about the feedback on this show, but if somebody were to come up and try to alienate me and Jared and say, "Oh, your podcast isn't this. You're not famous." Blah blah blah.
Oh, I've heard people say shit. Mostly just bitter people who aren't doing anything else with their lives, but
yeah, well,
then I don't take that into account. I'm like, oh, I see where this is going. I know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, and that was what I was going to get at. People like that, man, they really don't matter to us. We are here for us. We are here for the people who enjoy us, and that's all that matters. And I will say I am guilty, and I'm sure we are all guilty of some point of caring what people may think of them when you're making a decision or just trying to do something different that you feel people may not agree on.
You know what? I have let me see if I can explain this story without let me see if I can do this.
All right.
So at a certain time, a couple years ago,
all right,
I was in a situation where we had a guest coming over for the show, and I was with the person, and they were upset about something. And we were, I don't think I was arguing with this person, but this person was upset and this, that, and the other thing. And I was like, well, either you're going to try to resolve this right now, or you're going to keep being mad, because I'm going to do this show.
Mm-hmm.
This person got mad. I'm not going to say all the stuff that came along with that, but because I could tell you that off air. But so then a couple of days later, this person comes back, or they're around, and we're talking, and we're trying to talk, and still it's trying to oh, well, this, you did this, and you still went and did that show, and this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, well, I mean, I had an obligation. We already had somebody coming over,
yeah, of course,
to do the show. I'm not going to just be like, oh, I can't do it because this person is upset with me.
Yeah.
This person proceeded to say, you're not even making any money from that. And I'm like, obviously you don't understand what the point of it is.
Yeah, nah, man. Money comes, money goes.
But I say that to say we are now. Just 2 years later, we are now.
That's
and
right.
It ain't a lot, but it's enough where it's like, see, yo, a dumbass thinks you know better and you don't know shit.
Yeah, no. It yeah, I don't understand the
you know what I'm talking about, though, right?
No, 100%. Oh, yeah, no, dude. I don't understand, and this isn't only with us, and I've been fortunate enough to at least not overhear or somebody come up to me and just look me dead in the face and say, your podcast is dreadful. That hasn't happened, thank God. No, but there is a lot
I've
of...
heard somebody say some shit. It was a New Year's.
Oh, dude, I was pretty obliterated on
Oh,
New Year's.
no, well,
yeah, I mean...
I wasn't. I knew what was happening. But, it's just... I get it. I can be a little obnoxious when it comes to promotion of the show or putting it out there. I know I'm obnoxious like shit, but it's
Eating your dinner, listen to us. Taking a shit, listen to us.
Yeah, shameless advertising, man.
Yeah.
Like, always be marketing. That's it.
Just like cheap plug.
Hence why I always wear this fucking hat.
No, but there is like, I really think it's just kind of the way the world is right now. There's just a lot of bitter people in the world, and there's just, I don't know, a bunch of negativity.
Again, I think it's a combination of things. We're still feeling the effects of the lockdown as much as, and then the inflation, so people don't have any fucking money or things. It's harder. You can't do the same things you were able to do.
No, man.
Before this whole thing went down.
I hate inflation.
Oh, it's fucking horrible right now. I saw something the other day. They were saying like the cost of a house from, I forgot what year it was. It was like 1983 or 7 or some shit. And the cost of a house from then till now has gone up 430 some percent.
That's fucking nuts. And it's funny you say
and
that.
Food also has gone up. The price of food has gone up 430 some percent.
I make a joke at work kind of with my customers. Like, this is for all my customers. When I'm just chatting with them, when I'm first meeting them, it's just like, hey, we'll get your car taken care of. We'll let you know what the bill is. Hopefully it's nothing crazy damage. I said, trust me, I know the cost of living is outrageous. I said, man, I spent $100 at the grocery store and I just come home with foil. And, it's like, hey, where's the food? It's like, oh, can't afford it. I just try to be a little silly like that. But that is not a joke at all, folks. $100 and it doesn't buy you anything anymore. I feel. Now, if it is just solely for you.
Well, you just have to be more frugal again these days.
I like this word that you used.
I don't like that. I hate that word. But you have to be smart about what you have. Like, you got to buy shit that's on sale. You got to, I should be using coupons and all kinds of shit.
You need to hang out
but
with
I'm
my
also fucking lazy. This is when it comes to this is where I get lazy. It's like, I don't feel like cooking right now.
Yeah, no, I hear you.
I'm just gonna order some DoorDash, or I'm in the mood for something else, and that DoorDash shit adds up. We talked about this a few weeks ago, and I get it.
Yeah,
it adds up though. So I mean, I try to make my little fucking chicken and rice, or I think this week I'm gonna do spaghetti because I haven't had spaghetti in a while. But because I also have some beef chorizo.
Oh, dude,
that I'm gonna put with the ground beef. I don't know if I do ground beef or ground chicken. I like ground chicken for my spaghetti.
You know what's crazy? I'm gonna have to try this with the ground chicken because we typically.
I told you a long time ago.
Yeah, I know, but because we typically do beef and then cut some peppers up and throw them in the crock pot with the sauce.
You can do the same thing with the chicken. It's just chicken. It's a different texture, but I personally like the texture better.
Okay, all right. I'm going to try yours,
and it's better for you.
That I would 100% agree with, and I'm sure it is.
You can do it. You can do it the same way you do it.
Yeah.
Just add chicken instead of ground beef.
Got to talk to my mother about this. And I will tell you, man, since you were talking about coupons and all this stuff, you don't have to hang out with my mom, but if you want any type of coupon or sale or just rant, my mom knows what it is. Trust me.
You got to remember, I get them in the mail too. I just don't go to the mailbox. Again, lazy.
Open it up and it's like, just like a deck of cards.
It wasn't this bad last time, but there's been times that I've gone in there and that shit is fucking full. But it used to be, I don't get mail to my house that much.
Yeah.
It used to be, I was still getting mail from previous people who lived there.
That's happened to us here sometimes too.
Yeah, but it's been a while since it's happened to me. But the turnover in apartments are so much. I got fucking so-and-so Alvarez, so-and-so fucking Johnson, and fucking like all these different people that just had lived there from whenever.
Yeah. Whatchamacallit? What I was going to say, it's funny you brought up going to the mailbox. So the mailbox, obviously we all have one, had one, open one, put things in one. I don't know. When I was a kid, the only time I enjoyed going to the mailbox, one, because I thought it was cool to open up because it had a little key and all that stuff. But when my grandmother would send me Pokemon cards, right? So I would always be excited when I knew my grandma sent me like a booster pack or something in the mail with a couple cards. And I would go run down to the mailbox every day, open it, look for that special package. And it was a joy when I got it, I'll tell you. But I think about it, the mail, there is a purpose for mail, obviously. Mail can be depressing because there's nothing in there but, well, coupons, because those help. They do. But it's bills, junk, just a bunch of, like what is mail nowadays?
I mean, it's advertising. That's all it is.
It's kind of crazy because I just feel
you don't need to send. Like, I'm surprised companies still send paper. Like, the only people that send me paper fucking bills is my electric company.
Yeah, and that's another thing. A lot of bills you can just pay online nowadays.
Yeah, I prefer to pay my shit online.
It's easier, it's quicker, but yeah, just kind of back in the earlier years of our lives, you get your bills in the mail, you get your catalogs in the mail.
You got to write your checks and
all that stuff. So the mailbox has kind of changed.
It got replaced by email.
Changed by email.
Replaced. That's why they're trying to keep the post office around, but like pretty much obsolete these days.
It's pretty wild, dude.
Especially if you have delivery companies like you got UPS, you got
FedEx.
Yeah. DHL. There's got to be another one.
There's
and Amazon.
Yeah, the big one. The UPS. You think eclipses that a little bit?
I think FedEx is probably ahead of UPS. I could be wrong. I don't know for sure. I worked for UPS for like 2 days.
Dude, it's funny? I worked for them for like 2 weeks.
Fuck that.
Dude, that is a tough fucking job, dude.
It's ridiculous. I will never do that shit again.
I will tell you, I had the utmost respect for this guy I was riding around with.
Oh, you were riding? No, motherfucker. I was packing trailers.
Oh, so that sounds...
In Houston, Texas.
In 125 degree weather.
I mean, it was night, but it was still hot as fuck.
That dry heat?
No, Houston's humid.
Humid. Okay, I got you. No, but so that sounds awful. God awful, actually.
It was, bro. I think I told this story before.
You were looking around like, fuck this.
Because so you had to do like maybe I worked there for like 4 days. Because you like do 2 nights of training.
Yeah.
Because this was for the holidays, and so they were paying more. Like, this was when you were paying $8.50 an hour, and I'm like, oh shit! But this was back 97, 98. So of course it was a little cheaper.
Yeah.
But anyway, $8.50 an hour. I'm like, oh my god, I could use that.
That was a lot of money back in the day, folks.
So you do the training for 2 hours, and they're teaching you how to pack the trailer, and it's like a Tetris puzzle. I know I told this story before, but it's like a Tetris thing. You got to put everything so you can fit as much as you can, so that's all going in one place.
Dude.
And then I start packing the one night, and like I'll pick up a package, and it'll be like this big ass package, and I'm like thinking it's gonna be fucking heavy as fuck, and I'm like, oh shit, it's light as hell. So then I go to put it there. Then the next one I get is this little fucking cube box, and it's fucking weighs 50 fucking pounds.
Yeah, you're over here like
I'm
dragging
like,
it with a
what
rope.
the fuck is this shit? So it's fucking up the whole algorithm in my brain, the algorithm of the Tetris algorithm, because this has to go on the bottom.
Yeah, I know. If you put it on top, it's gonna smush.
If I put it on top of that big, loose fucking featherweight shit, then it's gonna fucking go to the bottom. So now I gotta fucking go rearrange shit while packages are still getting thrown into my back of my trailer.
Yeah.
And these ain't small trailers. These were the big fucking 18-wheeler ones.
Oh, you were packing those.
Yeah, bro.
Oh, man, dude.
Yeah. 2 days I lasted in that motherfucker. I was like, I'm never going back. I didn't even answer. I didn't ask. I didn't fucking, 2 weeks. I just said, fuck these motherfuckers. And I collected, I think I ended up collecting my last check, and I was like, all right, this $400. This goes to some weed.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's very important to have weed money, folks. It really, really is, especially when you're younger.
Back when I was that age, yeah.
No, so I was actually a helper for the delivery guys. And I, just like you, I did it during the holidays when they're paying time and a half and all this other stuff. And I was looking for a job. It's like, hey, if I do well, if I like it, maybe they'll keep me or whatever the case is. So I go into the orientation, and it was standard orientation. You shave everything and all that stuff. I got my brown uniform with the jacket.
Wait, you shave everything?
Yeah, I had to shave my mustache
I
and
was
my
gonna-
goatee.
Okay, because the way you said it, you were like, I had to shave everything.
No. Don't worry. If I would not have worked there if they wanted me to shave my body, it would have been a little weird. And it probably would have taken a long time. But regardless, I remember getting in the truck with this older guy. His name was Charlie.
Hold on. This episode brought to you by Manscaped.
Yeah,
not really, but
I mean, it's important. Folks.
actually, we should get a Manscaped. I'm gonna check into that. Let's see if we can get a Manscaped sponsorship.
So what I was gonna say is, so I get in the truck with this older guy. His name's Charlie. And granted, this is the holiday season, so it's fucking cold outside. So this was when I was kind of in between pizza and a bunch of other shit, and I was like, oh, this is easy. I was like, I've worked in snow, man, no problem. There is no passenger side door to this van that I'm in.
Well, there's really no driver's door. They usually keep it open.
I'm very aware. So I'm rolling, and Charlie's wearing fucking shorts, okay?
Because he's done this shit fucking for 30 years.
Yeah, dude, and he was cool as fuck. So I got in, so I hop in, and I turned. I was like, yo, where's the door? And he was like, ain't no door, young man. And I was just like, oh, this is going to suck, right?
But I bet you there is a door. He just didn't want you to fucking use it.
Yeah, well, it's okay. He was breaking me in if he's got a...
It's probably easier for you to get in and out of the truck.
Oh, and I understand. It was, but man, he was like, look, dude, he said, we're going to get to this house. He said, you're going to run up to that fucking door, drop it, knock, and you're going to run right back. I did that with him for about 8 hours when it was like 25 degrees outside.
Hell no.
And Jared, let me tell you, and I got off and we got back to the one that's not too far from us.
Mm-hmm.
Got out, I got in my car. My mom was like, how was it? And I was like, yo, this guy's balls are the size of like mud gripper tires, dude. I mean, balls of fucking steel. You know, I will tell you, and I've said it on this show, you know, the cold doesn't bother me too much. It's when the kind of the wind blows when it's cold and things of that nature.
Wait. How does the wind blow again? Okay.
Does that look sus?
I got news for you. That means you're gay.
I want you to edit that out. No, but I'm putting my arm down. I feel weird after doing it. Fuck, I didn't mean to. So the wind. So I hate when it's cold and the wind blows. That's when it goes through your fucking bones, right? Granted, I had long johns on. I had 2 pairs of socks. I had a sweater under. I mean, I was ready to go. I was fucking freezing, and I was like, Mom, this guy has balls of steel. I'll never make it in this line of work. I did it for a couple more shifts because I needed the money. And just like you, I just never went back.
Yeah.
They called me one day.
But I think that happens a lot.
Oh, it has to, dude.
Because,
There's just no way.
Because that's why they post everywhere, because they know that for every like 100 people they get in, they'll know they'll be up like that first couple of nights when they bring everybody in, they'll be up real quick.
Yeah.
Like all their shit's getting out on time, and then they know their fucking turnover rate has to be crazy.
And you know what it is? It is marketed as a seasonal job.
Yeah.
And which is smart, and it's awesome that people that do kind of volunteer to
But
do
you
it.
gotta let people ramp up to that. You gotta bring them in like
Dude, I would
in the summertime, and then let them fucking get into that.
Yeah,
shit.
that was full fire, full balls to the wall.
They
We're
threw-
in the mosh pit, head banging like
Yeah,
they
threw you to the wolves.
dude. And I remember they were calling me, and I was like, oh man, they want me to come in, and I was looking at it.
They were like, "No, you're terminated."
No, I actually picked up the phone. I was like, yeah, I got class today, and I didn't. And I was like, just call me in a couple days. And I just never went back, dude. I did it for about 2 weeks, if that.
I think they may have called our apartment, but I don't know if I even answered or whatever.
It's just a shame too, because and I know that those guys make good money doing that. And
Well, when you get to that a different level, yeah, you got to be a driver though.
And I just thought at the same time, because I was younger, it's like, oh, dude, I deliver pizzas. I can deliver packages. That shit is hard fucking core, folks. It is not a joke. So those guys are real heroes, dude. No bullshit. Hey, the real Santas, the real heroes are those guys. They really, really are. So have you guys ever worked a seasonal job somewhere during the holiday season and you were like, yo, there's a shitload of things happening at one time? Let us know, please. It's always good to have a nice little seasonal job. And I had another seasonal job once during the springtime when I worked at Lowe's here locally.
They have you picking up rocks and shit.
Dude, I actually worked for a while. I worked in the glass department. I actually learned how to score
Wait
plexi.
a minute.
Windows.
They had yo ass in the glass department.
Yeah, I actually know how to score glass, believe it or not, dude.
Yeah. I worked for a frame shop for. You remember that frame shop that was in Springfield Mall?
I know exactly which one. You don't even. I know exactly which one it is, dude.
I worked there probably for a summer.
Yeah.
I think it was. I was getting ready to. I think I was getting ready to. Where was I going? Anyway, because I'm trying to remember when I worked at Firestone. I worked at Firestone. The one over there, in Springfield.
Oh, that's right. You did work there. That's right.
But then I worked in the mall at that frame store, and I was making frames for people. I did that for at least a whole summer. That was actually a fun job.
Dude, you know what's crazy? When I did work at Lowe's, my job was obviously relatively simple, but I did learn a couple things that I obviously I wouldn't say are skill worthy. I mean, I don't know if I'd ever utilize them myself, but I definitely learned how to score glass and then plexiglass, which was pretty cool.
Learn how to break into windows. Well, when I was saying like the reason that I don't if I could cut you off, but the reason when you're saying score glass, I was thinking about like building frames, like because we had to cut like it's not glass. I don't know if we ever used glass, but anyway, it was Prince Plus was the name of the place.
Yeah.
And so we had the shiny shit that goes on front. It's like kind of plexiglass.
I gotcha.
So we had to cut that to fit whatever size of the frame that we were doing, and then that would go into the frame. Then the picture would go into the frame. Then whatever matting they chose, like we had to do matting and all that shit. Like I fucked up a couple, but for the most part, it wasn't like big fuck ups. Because if it's not aligned, it looks like shit. But like some people will be like, they get real picky.
Well, yeah,
about
people can be very particular about certain things. Trust me.
Like, it's a print, bro. It's not a fucking Basquiat.
Yeah, I get it, but still, man. Put it this way, working in the automotive business has just kind of taught me that people are fucking weird, especially when it comes to their vehicles. What I was gonna say is, no, but I worked there for a good couple months. And they actually ended up only keeping one guy just because that one department that he was in was really needed. But I worked in windows and, I guess, glass for a little while, and then I actually ended up in the tool department. So I worked with this older guy who drank straight moonshine. He was missing teeth. He was cool as shit. And let me tell you something. I'm not a carpenter. I could probably learn how to do these things. This guy knew his fucking tools, dude. People would come in and say the most random, peculiar thing. He was like, oh, yeah, man, you need this right here. And either he was just really good at hustling, which he was, or he just had a vast amount of knowledge. It's just kind of cool.
He probably was a carpenter.
Yeah, at some point, I believe he was. But, yeah, his just whole – it was just kind of cool to watch in action. Just somebody come in because they'd come ask me.
I know working in cars, I know quite a bit of tools, too. I don't think that – you have to be a fucking whiz kid to know what tools are tools.
No. With certain tools, certain things are standard. You know, you got your different size drill bits, different heads. I know how tools work. I know what we can use them for. But people would come in with like very peculiar questions. Mm-hmm. Obviously, somebody who me is just a young guy who doesn't know really jack shit. Yeah, I mean, I know what a flathead and a Phillips and all this other stuff is, but just very particular.
Cross-tip.
Yeah,
it's called a cross tip.
Regardless, Jared.
Phillips is a name brand. Just want to let you know that. Okay.
I'm taking a big drink November 1st for Jared. Anyway, but it was just kind of cool to watch him. I guess people pick his brain and he's like, "Oh yeah, you come over here and you do this." It was really cool, real nice guy. But they eventually kind of let all of us go at the end of the seasonal period, besides one guy, and I don't think he works here anymore.
Well, that's because in the summertime they're not busy anymore, so they don't need people.
Which is fine. And that was actually my pathway back to the land of pizza, and then I became the juggernaut and legend I am today.
Here you go again.
I just saying.
Wait, today you're not a pizza man anymore.
Just I'm like folklore. I like to think that.
Okay, buddy.
I like to think that it makes me feel
keep
good.
living in the past. You're gonna stay there.
I don't live in the past. It brings me peace of mind and comfort to my heart. Okay, thank you. But regardless, I'm not going to sit here and cry on air. And if I do, you guys
Start
can roast
looking
me.
for the next thing.
So I do want to ask you this. You, as somebody who's been in web development and kind of the IT field, I have been kind of looking at getting into automation in terms of in the IT world.
What do you mean automation?
Automation in the sense of, and I believe that's the proper term for it, but essentially, I guess testing different type of applications before they're released to like the general public. Like, say if a brand put out, we'll say, fuck it, we'll use like say a pizza place puts out a new app or something. They add things to it, things that you essentially test the software to make sure everything is optimal and running.
That's not automation. That's quality control. That's QC.
That's QC. So what is automation?
Automation is writing the programs to automate tasks.
Yeah, so that's what it would. That's exactly what it is. Yes.
So
So
then you need to learn coding.
I'm going to learn coding, and I'm going to be.
You need to decide. Okay, so here's a couple. All right, anybody that's trying to get into IT, and I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not a fucking overnight fucking.
Oh
trip.
no, dude.
This is some shit you're gonna have to dedicate it, even on your off time. This is why you need to buy a computer, even if you get a small laptop, a cheap fucking $300 laptop. At least you'll be able to do some stuff.
Well, yeah, no, and I actually want to show you one that I was thinking about getting.
You're not gonna be able to do gaming on it.
Oh no. That's I'm completely fine with
But
that.
other than so yeah, so first you need to figure out what you want to do. Maybe talk to some people who are in that field or in that area of what you're trying to do. See what they did, see what certifications you need, and then start working on pretty much anything in IT you can do on your own in your own time to practice.
Yeah.
Because some people be like, well, I got to go to school to do this and do that. You don't have to. If that's how you learn, then that's fine, because that's how I learn. But you don't want to go my direction, because trust me. But you got to fucking practice just like anything else.
And the gentleman that I talked to about it is actually a friend of a former coworker of mine. I just reached out to him, and he actually said just what you said. He said, hey, a lot of my students that have been successful and were able to get jobs, in a kind of a quicker turnaround manner, they stayed with it. They studied in their off time. And he said, the people that are still kind of lingering in the field looking for work, they didn't keep up with it. And,
you have to stay on top of shit. Like my goal a few years ago was I wanted to be a CTO at a company, chief technology officer.
I got you.
I still kind of want to do that. But the main thing for that, well, first of all, my master's degree is information systems management,
all right,
which is basically figuring out how different systems work together, then implementing them into an organization and figuring out how to get the organization to kind of adopt this new technology.
I got you.
So that I was doing that all to try to get to information or CTO. Then I got the job at Howard doing straight up web development. But either way, all through this time, I'm still keeping up on the latest technology. Like right now is the fucking AI craze, and
I'm
not happy with it, but it is what it is. I still have to dibble dabble and kind of fuck around with it just to understand. Because if I go to an organization, like I work for a nonprofit, if I go to a different nonprofit and they need to kind of boost their technology up to what it is, I need to know the right questions to ask. As the chief technology officer, I need to know blah, 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 what we're going to go with, how it works into our budget, and then delegate the people who are in specific areas, like say if you're automation or whatever, QC or whatever, delegate those proper tasks to you, so then it can come up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, there's a flow to it. Yeah.
So I wanted C-level, but still be in technology, but the C-level appropriate equivalent of it.
Yeah, I got you.
But again, I would not have, and I probably could get away with finding some small organization, some small company now and doing that because I've had this amount of experience through the years and I can put it on paper and say, blah, 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 this, that, and the other thing. But look how long it took me from that point to even now, or maybe in a couple of years deciding, oh, you know what, fuck it, I do want to go do that.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying is like, it's not going to be an overnight thing.
No, and I don't
So-
view any.
Plus, you got to find something that you want to do that you fucking like to do / love to do. If not, you're going to be fucking bored and you're going to be at the same place you were with the pizza, the same place you were with the car stuff.
Yeah. I'm just ready to, I don't want to say rob a bank. I mean, we can.
No.
Hint, hint, quote, quote.
Oh, we could if we were playing Payday 3, but you know.
I have
No, don't change the subject.
No. I'm not changing the subject. I'm going into the subject. I'm flowing with you like a river.
No, we're still
stream.
talking about what you were talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, no, but that's something I've been kind of looking into. I'm trying to think, abroad as I get a little older. I would like to have a career in something that I am relatively interested in or good at. I mean, I know I'm a nerd, maybe not that level of nerd or type of nerd. And I say that with 100% respect.
Well, you can
by the
be
way.
that type of nerd. Again, it takes work, bro. Like anything worth having, it takes fucking dedication and work to. Just like what we were talking about before, like the discipline part about it. Like you might be. I mean, there was times when I was working on a perfect example. I was trying to finish up my bachelor's. I think it was, I was finishing up my bachelor's and going into my master's. I had 3 fucking jobs. And I think I talked about it here before.
Of course.
I had Lucky's on the weekends at night. I worked at my full-time job, which was basically web administrator, web master, whatever you want to call it. And then part-time as at the after-school program.
Yeah.
Granted, all those weren't fucking 5 days a week, but I'm working all 3 of these jobs, plus taking like 2 or 3 classes for my master's degree at the same fucking time. Did I want to do that shit every time? No. But I knew if I wanted to fucking be done with this shit and fucking have the skills I needed, plus have the money in my pocket that I could still live.
Yeah. No, trust me.
I had to do this shit. Now I won't. Granted, at this point in my life, I don't care if I'm scrimping paycheck to paycheck. I am not fucking doing 3 jobs again.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, man. And I know even with your military background, and I say that because of just the discipline and dedication it takes to be in that field of work. But that had to have been hard on you after some point.
What?
Just doing 3 jobs and going like
I was burnt the fuck out. When I was done, I was burnt, bro. Like I was kind of glad. Wait, did Lucky's close after I was done with that?
You know what's crazy? I'm not too sure. I think he
No.
may have.
No, it was because I had started working at Howard by then. Yeah, because just before I started working at Howard, I finished my master's. So it was around that same time. So I was technically kind of glad because I was like, well, I don't fucking have. And no, I think I left there before that too, though. Because me and Dave had said when we first went on, we're only going to do 2 years.
Yeah. When what I was gonna say is, how long did you run those 3 jobs for? Like, was it like
2 years?
Damn, dude, that's tough, dude. Trust me, I know. I mean, I've only worked 2 jobs at the same time once in my life, and that was a lot for me. I was working retail during the days, up until about 4 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock I'd go in and deliver pizzas till about 9 or 10, and then I did that, 5 days a week at the retail, sometimes 6 doing the pizzas, and it just it was tiring, and I did it for a couple months, and I just couldn't do it anymore.
And now that I think about it, I'm trying to remember when I went, when I finally went. Was I still training too? I think I was still. Yeah, I had went back to training, so I was back doing jiu-jitsu around that time too. So I was fucking
Just like a whole ball of
Now,
what is it?
I was probably only doing maybe 2 to 3 days, 1 to 3 days a week, but I was still training. You know what I'm saying? So I was doing. Bro, it was rough.
Yeah, I can believe it. I'm sure your sleep was just absolutely fucked up, dude.
What sleep?
Yeah. So I commend you for that, man. I mean,
But
I feel like
I don't sleep anyway, so not a big deal. But going through that shit, that's what I'm saying. Like, I sometimes it's a problem sometimes because I don't know if it's because I'm getting older or like I feel like, all right, man, I've earned my stripes. I've worked hard. So like I feel like sometimes it makes me feel like you could take a little bit of time off, but now I'm doing something completely different.
I got you.
So I shouldn't be taking any time off from that. I'm talking about comedy.
Yeah.
I shouldn't be taking any time off because this is a new thing. This is a new skill that I'm
you
trying
have to regain that original mindset.
So this goes back to what I'm saying. Like, you pick what you want to do, figure out what you got to do to get there, create the plan of how you're going to get there, and then fucking do it. And it can't be any, you know what? I'm a little sleepy. It's Sunday. I want to go fucking watch football. Man, fuck Sunday watching football. You got a fucking dream you're trying to get to.
Yeah, no.
That shit don't matter, dog. That's why I guess that's where I get upset when I see like people close to me like you, and then y'all be like, oh, I gotta fucking go, or even Sean, like, oh, I gotta go watch the game. I gotta, and all that's gonna do is turn into I'm gonna be getting drunk all day, and then the whole fucking day shot, and perhaps the next day because we're getting older and it's harder to fucking recover
dude,
from that shit.
it is. I will say the one good thing about Sober October, folks, and I will be the first to admit it. I can't really hang tough anymore, dude.
No, it's hard. I definitely take way less days. I'm doing this shit way less these days.
Yeah, it's and this is coming from two guys who run a show that has had some sort of booze on it for pretty much 98% of its duration.
Yeah, since it came on.
Yeah, which was 6 years ago.
Plus, I feel like I'm more clear-headed, especially when it comes to doing comedy. Granted, I'm getting more practice and I'm doing a lot more, but I feel like I can string jokes together with ease and still recall them and not be like, fuck, what was I saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, the brain fog and the grogginess, I would say.
The grogginess is the worst.
Yeah, the following day, especially as you get older, it's not fun. And I said it a couple weeks ago when we were luckily enough to celebrate not only my birthday, but the 200th episode of the podcast all in one gigantic ball of celebration. We had
fun, actually.
Yeah, we had a great time. We had a great night, went out, spent the time with the boys, had some booze, had a couple, a shot or two, and then, you wake up Sunday, it's like, okay, my birthday's over with. It's kind of like a weight off of my shoulders sometimes, dude. The day after my birthday, it's like, oh, we got a whole nother year before that happens.
Because you fucking set precedent early on. Like, people know by now, like, I don't want no fucking shot, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I'm good.
No, and believe it or not, we went, I don't know if I got lucky, but it was relatively quiet in Tortuga Verde for my birthday, which
it's
was
hit
nice.
or miss. It's hit or miss on Saturdays with that.
And
especially now that football season's back on.
Yeah, because I'm sure it'll be packed tomorrow.
I'm talking about Saturdays.
Oh.
I don't care about I don't go there on Sundays anymore.
No, I don't blame you.
Because it's just debauchery.
Dude, is everybody fucking like, I already know it is.
Well, you know I stopped going on Sundays during the day back in the day. And I think I went once this year on a Sunday during football, and it's like, I'd see what, because the people who have been drinking the longest seem to still be there the longest.
Oh, yeah, I know.
And it's like, bro, I came here because I didn't want to deal with the fucking insaneness of what's happening right now.
bro.
but it's still fucking happening. It doesn't fucking make sense to me.
dude. That place is its own.
It is what it is, but I'm not trying to fucking pass judgment on anybody. Anybody can do what they want with their life. I'm just telling you that me personally, I'm not going somewhere where I just want to chill and fucking have a beer or two and then fucking leave. I'm not here to fucking hear you fucking. I'm not here to fucking hear your fucking sob story about what so and so did to you earlier. I don't give a fuck.
Dude. Oh my god, that place it cracks me up, man.
Like fuck your gossip, man.
Dude. It's just this like big sweltering pie. He said debauchery, dude.
Fucking insane, dog.
Dude. It's like an asylum, bro. It's where crazy people are.
I'm actually. This crazy part is I'm actually working on a bit that because of that exact thing, and I just haven't figured out how to put it together yet. But it's basically involved like that's where mentally ill people. It's a serious topic.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to find the funny in it.
Oh yeah, no.
It's literally where mentally ill people go just to be around other mental ill people.
Dude, it's fucking dude. That is like the best way of dude, Jared. I'm gonna go to the back, get a hammer and a nail because you just knocked it. Well, now you just nailed it. That's what I wanted to say.
But it's not just that place. It sounds like we're just harping on that place. It's anywhere where people go the same day in and day out with the same people day in and day out. And I get it. Like Cheers kind of glorified it. Like, oh, go to a place where everybody knows your name. And as much as we love Lucky's,
yeah,
it was the same shit there.
Yeah.
But
fancier. If that's even the right word to use.
It was
just cooler.
It was something different about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely there was a cool factor additional in addition to it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know, man. I'm just pontificating, and I'm for some reason like using big words today.
Dude, Jared, you are on a roll with your vocabulary. So if you guys are out there listening, and you should be because it's important, yeah, you guys got to give Jared an A+ for his vocab today. Top of his class, valedictorian of grammar and the all-seeing everything else. I don't know, shop, automotive, global domination.
Can I say something about valedictorians?
They're douchebags?
No. All right, let me see if I can explain this. So it's been there's been studies that have shown that people who are usually like top of their class, valedictorians, those are usually the employees of the C students.
Really?
You ever heard this before?
I want to say no, but I think I know what you're kind of getting at, so go ahead.
And I'm not really getting at anything. I'm just speaking the truth, because the C students are usually the ones who are like, I don't want to say totally like adverse to authority, but definitely want to fucking kind of push the boundaries, see what they can get away with.
Yeah, I got you.
Maybe not want to follow the rules exactly the way the rules are written, but the people that are at the top of their class and the valedictorians, the A's and the B's, those are usually the ones that end up working for the C people, because the C people are the entrepreneurs because of how their brain works. They're going out and they're venturing out and they're finding other ways to do things that the fucking establishment necessarily doesn't want people to do.
Yeah, no. So I see what you're saying.
The A's and the B's are just good at following rules and memorizing. Okay, and then putting it on a test.
Yeah.
So that's why they end up running. They end up like they might be CEO or like high level executive management or whatever, but they're still employees of the motherfucker who owns that shit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So I don't know. Just food for thought. That's all.
No, that's dude. That's a very good point. And I don't want to compare, but maybe run like a parallel line to a degree. That makes a lot of sense. People that are good at following instructions are good just general workers, you
Mhm.
know. And then the people who are just like, yeah, fuck this, I'm going to do it how I feel fit.
Yep.
And then and then it's become an established thing. It's not just or you're key or you have the charm or pizzazz, if that's the right word, to lure these people in to work for you. And then if they're good at that, then you've got solid employees and
Yeah.
you know. But what I was going to kind of compare it to, when I was younger, somebody told me, they were like, hey, and this is when we had first started like kind of smoking weed and shit. And regardless, somebody said, I think he was a little older. He was like, man, I would rather my kids or somebody do this shit now when they're young and in school, and then when they get it to their 30s or their 40s, because you're getting it kind of out of your system. If that makes any sense.
Maybe.
I don't know if it's good compare. I'm not trying to compare it really.
I don't know about that one. Like letting your kids smoke weed. I don't know about that.
No, I'm not saying you should let your kids smoke weed, but it's just like, hey, you go out and do dumb stuff as a kid. It's like, oh, well, do dumb stuff now while you're young. Don't do it when you're older. I feel like
but
uptight people seem to get more loose the older they get, and they do like more wild shit.
I see where you're coming from. I get that, and I'll tell you how I learned this recently. People typically don't change from who they are, from who they were when they were like in high school.
Well, that's true too. I guess
And if it is because they either something made them change or they made a deliberate effort to put in the work to make a change.
Yeah, no, that's right.
You know what I'm
Okay,
saying?
yeah, no, I think that's fair. I think that's fair. A lot of food for thought, a lot of big words, a lot of happiness and information on the best podcast in the world, the Mad Scientist Lab, the 204th episode. My God. Yes, we keep the ball rolling, folks. And with that being said, thank you for listening, folks. You can catch us anywhere you get your podcasts. That is Apple Music, Spotify, all those good things for the audio. Monday, 9 a.m. sharp for that visual on YouTube. And if you guys want to see us live, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. on Twitch, join the chat, come in, join the Roast of RJ because it's very popular. It's like a thing now.
It's every week.
It's like it's taken on a life of its own, folks, and I can't stop it. But we'll see where it takes us. So until then, folks, we will see you next week. As always, please like, share, comment, subscribe, review, and be safe. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Hit you so hard you won't see nothing. Ever, 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 ever.
Audio Skulls all day.
The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab. The Merit Scientist Lab.
You can't have an opinion on something that you haven't even tried.
The Merit Scientist